Okay, so here's a crazy job. This involved a company, Gate Gourmet, and this was right after the real estate crash when the economy started to roar back. I'd say around 2013. We were hired. It was a 6-month gig to get these guys all cut up. But essentially, what we had were these catering trucks, which were scissor lifts, and they were breaking down while they were loading food into the 747s, Airbus jets, and the economy was roaring back, and the jets were getting filled, and they're booking more and more flights. But the problem was these scissor lift trucks had been in poor maintenance before the real estate crash, and they didn't order any new ones because demand for flight dropped, and these folks were sort of running on autopilot. And by the time the economy came roaring back, the scissor lifts themselves were even in worse shape. But the 3 manufacturers of the scissor lifts had all done Chapter 11. So they sort of shuttered their doors, and essentially it isn't a full bankruptcy, Chapter 11, but it's we need to regroup, and they stopped manufacturing scissor lifts, and there was a 2 to 3 year waiting list to get new ones, and these guys needed new ones yesterday. So what they eventually decided was, we need to take the units that are mothballed and reincarnate them, bring them back to life. And what was happening essentially was they had these scissor lifts that were totally unreliable. They were behind the maintenance. There was 2 full-time mechanics, but the reason they were behind is because these poor guys were constantly putting out fires. The machines were literally breaking down while they were connected to the jets, and they were being fined. It was like $1,500 per minute. And these poor guys were constantly going out there and disconnecting these machines from the jets because they were breaking down, and hence they fell behind on the maintenance. So the last straw was when one of the starters shorted out. It shorted a full-on positive to negative on the batteries through the starter. They couldn't turn the damn thing off, and the whole unit caught on fire while connected to a jet. And at that point, there was like, enough's enough. I don't know how long the jet was put out of service, but the fines were massive, and they hired us to come in and get these machines back in running order, get the mothballed ones joining the fleet. They had a total of 53 scissor lift trucks. Half of them weren't even working. So they wanted all 53 of them working again, and they wanted to be caught up on the maintenance. And that's where we came in. So for 6 months straight, it was 3 to 4 guys, 6 days a week. We rebuilt 25 4-stage telescoping cylinders, tons and tons of welding and fabricating, coming up with design upgrades to take completely broken scissor lift axis points and get them rebushed, getting them working again. Things that we're told should never run again. We had to do motor swaps, transmission swaps, all sorts of maintenance, lots of wiring, lots and lots of brakes and drive lines and all sorts of, so 6 months straight, and we got them up and running. And that's the story of Gate Gourmet.